Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to go over a simple crash course on how to work with the latest release of something on ChatGPT called GPTs. So what is a GPT and how can you leverage GPTs for your own use cases? So basically, GPTs are just a way of creating your own custom versions of ChatGPT to do for you different tasks. So in this course, you're going to go over ahead and learn all the basics of how to create GPTs and basically also, OpenAI announced that you can actually monetize these GPTs to actually generate revenue, and the GPT Marketplace is going to come somewhere along this month or early next year. So basically, GPTs, you can create a GPT for doing different tasks, maybe a GPT for analyzing data, and then you can put it in the GPT store. Then anyone can purchase it or basically use it, and then you get revenue that way. So basically, it's a new way of generating income and also be a new way of generating your own custom versions of ChatGPT called GPTs. Okay, so in this course, you're going to cover a simple introduction of GPTs, what they are, and how you can use them. So this is the content, the table of content, basically the table of content, anything that you're going to cover in this video. Okay, so we're going to be looking at what are GPTs, the marketplace for GPTs, so you can generate revenues from your GPTs. And this is going to create actually a lot of millionaires in the future. Actually, we're also going to go ahead and look at how to get access to GPTs, configurations of GPTs, creating your own fast GPT. We're also going to create a language tutor that's going to be able, we are going to use it to be able to teach basically a GPT that's going to help people to learn the language called Swahili, which is a language that is spoken somewhere in East Africa. Okay, and then you're also going to go ahead and use ChatGPT for use a GPT for automation, basically sending emails with Zapier. You're also going to use uh, GPT for adding extra knowledge to our basically our GPTs. Basically, what this simply means is that GPTs, for example, right now the current GPT ChatGPT version 4 is actually is having a knowledge limit of up to 2023 April, somewhere there. So you can actually add your own files to it and basically have chat with your own data files like storybooks and other stuff like that. You can simply upload it to ChatGPT or your own custom GPTs and have conversation with us. You're also going to look at how to do data analysis using a GPT, and then finally, you're going to go ahead and create a final project. We're going to go ahead and create a data analysis GPT, and that also can be able to send email reports to different clients that we want to. Okay, so let's get into it. So let's go ahead and start what are GPTs. So GPTs are basically, okay, let's start the word. What does GPT stand for? So GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Okay, so this basically GPTs, right? Basically, what they simply do is you just have your own unique custom versions of ChatGPT. So imagine that you have ChatGPT right now. Now you have your own custom ChatGPT that you trained yourself, and you can give it instructions on how to behave. You can control its behavior. You can ask it to behave like anything you want. You can ask it to behave like a pirate. You can ask it to behave like a musician. Basically, you can create GPTs to do basically anything that you can think of. So these are just custom, unique versions or variations of ChatGPT that you decide on what they can do, and you can also actually sell them and get revenue that's going to come later somewhere along this month or early next year. Okay, now let's look at the GPT Marketplace. So GPT Marketplace is a way for you to monetize your GPTs that you create. So basically, you can put your GPTs in the marketplace and people can use the GPTs, and from there you can get revenues from it. That's what basically the GPT Marketplace is. And as for at the time of making this video, those marketplaces are not currently available, but they're going to be available in the upcoming months as announced by OpenAI in the Dev Day conference. So if you haven't checked out the video on their Dev Day conference, you can check it out whereby they spoke stuff about how they introduce different stuff on GPTs and how you can they're aiming to introduce the marketplace for this in the future. Okay, so those are the ChatGPT marketplace and how you can make money from your GPTs. Okay, so how to get access to GPT or how to basically create your own GPT. So basically, you need to go into ChatGPT and you need to have a paid version of ChatGPT Plus, as they're called. From there, you can go ahead and actually create your own basically your own GPT. Okay, so this is actually very new, so you can see it's in a beta version. A beta release is not actually the actual release, but it's just a beta release. Okay, so now let's go ahead and see how we can create a simple GPT for ourselves and how to configure the GPT. Okay, so just go in here and then go under Explore GPT. Click on Explore, it will bring you to this page. So you can see this a bunch of available GPTs that are already created for us by ChatGPT or OpenAI themselves, and you can use it themselves. So these are the ones that you create. So let's go ahead and create one. So just click on Create GPT. So let me just zoom in a bit. So create on GPT right here. So once you create it, it's going to bring you to this page right here. So let's tell it what GPT you want to create. So let's go ahead and create a simple GPT. So let's say create a GPT to tell me funny stories, right? It's creating a GPT to tell you funny stories, just like that. And let's see what. So the GPT builder is going to go ahead and create for us a GPT that's going to go ahead and tell us basically funny stories. So this can take a bit of time, depending on the traffic. Sometimes it's really fast, sometimes it can be a bit slow. So just be patient. And once it's going to go ahead and create for us a GPT that can basically tell us funny stories. So great choice. A GPT that tells funny stories sounds like a lot of fun. How would you go about the naming? So okay, that name, you give us a name, so this is humorists. Okay, so I think that name is fine. Okay, that name is fine. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you that name is fine. So once I tell that name is fine, it should now go ahead and ask me other things that I want to use. So I just zoom in a bit more so that you guys can see this. So let's see what is going to take a bit of time. It's going to create for us a profile picture. And to generate the profile picture, it's going to use DAL E. I don't know what's called, DALE. Yeah, it's going to use that to generate for us a profile picture. And the profile picture is going to replace this right here. Okay, so it's going to generate for us a profile picture, and that actually looks funny. Okay, so you can actually accept it, or you can actually tell it to generate for you more pictures as you want. So I'm just going to say great. I'm going to say great, great. I'm okay with that picture. Good. So that's it. So basically, you have, after doing that, you have already created our first GPT. So you can see we have some things here. Tell me a funny story about a cat. Share a funny story about this. So these are all the configuration things. So if you go in here under config, you can see the name. You can change the name if you want. You can change the description. You can see these are the basically the instructions that your GPT has, basically how to behave. Okay, so you can read these are basically just system prompts telling the bot on how it should behave. So you can write anything and instruct it to behave in any way that you want to. So I'm just going to leave this as default because this has been generated by ChatGPT. So I'm going to leave it as default. Again, you can see we have some starter questions, and the starter questions are what appears. So you can see the starter questions right here. You can delete them, you can add more if you want to, but I'm going to leave it as that. And you can also look at the other options that we have here, in which you're going to look at throughout this crash course. So now that you're let's assume that you're comfortable with this, and also you can read the system prompts or the system instructions on how the bots to behave. If you're okay with it, you can leave it as it is. If you want to change the bit, you can go ahead and change it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on save, and I'm going to we can also make it public, which is going to be in the GPT store, which is going to come soon. But I'm going to make it only available to myself, so only me. And that's going to go ahead and create for us a GPT. So I'm going to click on confirm. Now you can be brought back to this page. So basically you can ask it, let's use the startup message right here. So you can say, tell me a funny story about a cat. So let's see how it tells us a story about a cat. So once upon a time, in the quaint little town of I don't know what's that, Parville, with there lived a cat named Whiskers. Whiskers wasn't your ordinary cat, and you can just read the story, blah blah blah, and for so that's basically how you can create your own custom GPT to do for you different tasks. Okay, so that's basically how you can create a custom GPT. So now let me just go back in here and let's look at a couple of things more. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit the stop to stop generating for now. Okay, so if you want, you can actually test this out because I don't want to waste your time, so you can just move ahead. So I'm going to go ahead and click on explore, and if I click on explore, I'm going to see all the available GPTs that I have. So you can see we have one right here. So I'm going to click on it. That's the humorist. Okay, I hope that's the pronunciation. So that's basically the chatbot that we have. So you can actually go ahead and let me just go back in here. And let me see, I can go back in and click on edit GPT, and I'm brought back to this page right here. So I can go with config. Let me explain to you now what this config session means. Okay, so we have the the instructions field, which is just the system prompts right here, basically how the bot to behave. We also have the conversation status, which are these conversation status right here, which you have looked at already. We also have the custom knowledge. So custom knowledge, you can upload a file that the ChatGPT can use as a reference. So let's say that you know the ChatGPT currently has a limitation on how much information it knows. So the current release of GPT-4 has information up to 2023 in April. So sometimes you want to have a custom file that you want to add to it to give it more knowledge about a specific concept or a specific area of interest that you're interested in. You can upload that file right here. Okay, and we'll see how to do that just in a second. You can also go ahead and enhancement. You can add enhancements such as using different These are the enhancement capabilities, how to ability to browse the web, ability to use DALL-E, ability to use code interpreter to generate code and write Python code to do different stuff and analyze data in different ways. So that's basically it. And you also have advanced actions, and you can add advanced actions such as Zapier to to automate sending emails and other stuff like that. We are going to look at all this just in a second. So don't worry about it. You're going to look at all of it. Okay, it's good. So you have learned how to create our first GPT. You have looked at the different configurations. Now let's move on ahead and create an actual fun project. So this is going to be a Swahili tutor, and this is going to be a GPT that you can actually push to the GPT Marketplace to make revenue whenever the marketplace opens up. So we're going to create a GPT that's going to allow users to be able to learn the language Swahili. So Swahili, or also known as Kiswahili, is a language that is spoken in East Africa, mainly Tanzania and Kenya. Okay, so you're going to create a GPT to be able to help people to learn this language. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go back here, click on back, and I'm going to go ahead and say create GPT. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give it the instructions right here. So I'm going to say let me just actually go. I actually have a prompt that I found on the internet, and this prompt is really good. It can help us really make a good custom language model, basically a tutor. So this I found this from a source called the Pi Coach on Medium. This guy really has articles and stuff. So he wrote an article about uh, creating your own language, something about language assistant. So it has this prompt in the article, and it's just I really love the prompt, and it's really great. So I modified it a bit, and you're going to use it for our own use case right here. So I have this, and I'm going to go ahead and simply copy it right here. So I'm going to copy this right here, and I'm going to leave this in the description of the video so you can find this. Okay, so I'm going to give it this instead, paste it in here. So this instructions on how to create basically create our GPT. So it has instructions as a Swahili tutor. I'm going to give you Swahili words I'm learning to increase my vocabulary. For each new word, I will improve context. I will provide context. You have to write the meaning of the word, provide 3 examples of each, blah, blah, and you can see all that right here. So I don't want to go ahead. You can pause the video and read this for your own. And at the end of the day, put in bold the word and all that. So if you understand this, give me a thumbs up and generate a GPT based on this. Okay, that's basically the prompt. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and simply paste that prompt in here and press enter. So it's going to go at the GPT builder is going to look at this prompt that we passed in, understand it, and then use it to generate a prompt on for us. Okay, so let's just give it a bit of time, and that's going to go ahead and generate basically a language tutor GPT that we can use to learn the language Swahili. So you can basically create a GPT for any language that you're interested in. Okay, so I'm just using this for Swahili because I'm comfortable with Swahili. Okay, so we have that right there. So you can see we have that there. Great, understand your request. Let's give this GPT a name and reflect the role of Swahili tutor. Okay, Swahili Saga. Okay, so I'm okay with that name. Great. Uh, I'm okay with that name. Good. So I'm going to say I'm okay with that name, and it's going to go ahead and generate for me a profile picture. And basically, again, the profile picture it's going to use DALL-E during the profile picture, and you can basically use any profile picture that you want. Okay. So yeah, so let's just give it a bit of time. Again, you can use your own prompts right here. Basically, copy any prompt or anything that you are thinking of, paste it in here, and basically that will act as a system prompt. Okay. And then you can see it generated for me an image, and I'm okay with that image. So let me just say I want a picture of Savannah. Yeah, Savannah. Savannah. I hope that's the spelling of Savannah. Savannah. Yeah. So because the Swahili is spoken in mainly East Africa, and there we have a lot of savannas right here, right? So safari parks and all that national parks. So I want it to be more like giraffes. Okay, actually has an elephant in there, so it's actually good. An elephant, a giraffe. Actually, the first picture is actually nice. I didn't just take a close look at it, so I think the first picture is good. But basically, that's how you can ask it to generate better pictures for you in case you want. So let me just say you can use the first picture because I think the first picture has books and language, and then you can see the different Savannah images right there. So that's actually good. So I'm actually going to tell it to use the first picture that it actually generated instead of this Savannah picture. Okay. Okay, so I think I made a typo. Savannah has a double N. I didn't put a double N there. So my bad. Sorry for that. Okay, so there it goes. And say, okay, so let me just say, okay, it's updating. Sometimes it just takes a bit of time. Okay, so let's give it a bit of time and let's see how that goes. Okay. Once it's done, actually the profile picture should appear right here. So let's, I don't know why it's taking so long. Okay, updating the behavior, and okay, I don't know why it's taking so long. Now let's refine find to side role. Let's consider how it should interact with you. Would you like Swahili to communicate? Okay, so I don't know why it's taking so long to do this. It just keeps on going and going and going. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. So LSAG is almost ready. Before we finish, let's think about any special capabilities or additional features that might need. Okay, so let's give it a bit of time to go. Okay, there's something generally wrong with this. Okay, notice that. So let's just refresh this again. Okay, let me just say I like that picture. Okay, I don't know. There's definitely something wrong because it's supposed to update this picture, profile picture right here. I don't know why it's taking so long to do that. So seems there's an issue, but let's give it a bit of time. Okay. Okay, so now you can see it updated the picture right there. So I want you to actually use the first picture that it generated. So let's actually instruct it to do exactly that. So I would like you to use the first profile picture instead, just like that, and let's see how it goes. So you're just telling it you want to use the first profile picture, which is this one right here. Okay, so let's see, it should update this to be the first picture we have right here. Okay, so let's see how that goes. Okay, it's almost done there, so you should see this change in no time. Okay, good. Now we have that there, guys. So great. Great. So you can basically have a chat with it and basically tell it more, ask it different questions, engage with it. You can also go into the config section. You can go ahead and change the different questions right here. Basically, that's it. So you can basically define Rafiki. So Rafiki in Swahili basically means friend. So Rafiki means friend in Swahili. Rafiki in Swahili word means friend, as I said. Yeah. So that's basically, you can actually modify the storage. We don't actually need to use a code interpreter for this. We don't need the, okay, let's leave the image generator and web browsing functionality. So basically I'm going to go ahead and click on save, and I'm going to use it as for me only. You can push it public and that to appear in the GPT store once it arrives. Okay, so once that's done, you can just interact with it. You can test it out. Define Rafiki. It's gonna go ahead and define what Rafiki means, which is basically friend. Okay, so basically you also told it you can also give it a command table time, and let's see what it does when you give it a command table time. So let me just say table uh, time, and let's see what it does. So table time should give us a table, okay, having these columns right here. So you say table time, let's see what it does. So it give us a table right here, Rafiki, which is the word that we learned, and you can see doing perfectly well. So we only learned one word so far, so there's only one word in there, Rafiki. And that's basically how you can create a simple language tutor, and you can push this to GPT and people can use it. And from there you can add, you can push this to the GPT store and people can use it. And basically you can add, you can earn revenue from it. So say Rafiki, English translation means friend. Example sentence of Rafik, Juma ni Rafiki yangu means Juma is my friend. Juma is my good friend. Yeah, Juma is my friend. Basically, the English translation of this right here. Okay, that's basically it, and you can play around more with this if you want to. Again, that's basically how you can work, and you can also delete this GPT if you want to. You can just go in here, click on edit, and then you can delete the GPT. Okay, or you can click on explore right here, and once you reach explore, you can go in here and just simply say delete GPT. For now, I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay, so now you can see, now you can create a simple language tutor GPT. Now let's move on to the fun stuff and let's learn how to use Zapier. So Zapier is just basically a really good tool, online tool that can enable you to automate different stuff. Okay, so you just go ahead and create an account on Zapier. If you don't have one, just go ahead and create an account using a Gmail and then simply log into your account. So once you're logged in, you should see your Zap. So basically, these apps that you create on Zapier are called Zaps. So I used to have an app that used to automate every time I post things on YouTube. It also gets updated on my Twitter, now called X, and also post it on LinkedIn and stuff like that. But okay, you see, I just turn off these apps. So you can just create an account on Zapier, and then let's get started with creating connecting Zapier with ChatGPT and creating a GPT that use Zapier to send different emails to different people that is specified in our chat conversations with the GPT. Okay, so now let's see what we need to do. So that's basically what Zapier is just this, the definition of Zapier from the official website. Zapier is an online automation tool that connects your apps to different services. As I said earlier on, with Zapier, we can connect different apps to build really cool things, right? In this case, you're going to use GPT to automate sending emails, right? So let's create a GPT that's going to automate sending emails, and you're going to use GPT and Zapier. So what are the steps that we need to do? First of all, you need to have a Zapier account. So just go ahead and create a Zapier account. Like I do, I already have a Zapier account. After creating a Zapier account, we need to connect OpenAI to Zapier. So how do we do that? So just go in here, just use the link that you have in here. So just say, copy this link right here, https:/actions.zapier.com /GPT/actions, and that's going to bring you to this page right here. So now, if your first time coming here, it will ask you to connect GPT. So just say yes, allow access. I already have it connected, so it doesn't prompt me that page. But you can manage access. I can revoke access and then basically allow access again. But there's no point of doing that. It's just gonna have, it already has access to it. So basically, once we have that, you can go ahead and click on add new action. So you can click on add new action, and this new action is going to enable us to send an email to a user. So basically, just add the action right here. You're going to say Gmail send email, just like that. That's the name of the action. There are different actions that we have. You can also have actions for Spotify, to play Spotify music. You can see all of them right here. Okay, so you can see all of the actions right here. Okay, so once we have it, I'm going to say send email, and I'm going to go ahead, and it's going to load a bit, and it's going to give me more options. I'm going to go ahead and say show more options, and I'm going to scroll here and give it this action a name. They're going to call this action send email, just like that, and that's the action name. Okay, so send email, and I'm going to go ahead and say enable action. So this is going to enable this action, and we can use this action in our Zapier application, in our GPT application. So I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to go ahead and click on create GPT, and I'm going to go ahead and the configs. I'm going to give it a name, so I'm going to say send email, send emails, just like that, and I'm going to say that it's going to be send emails with Zapier. Okay, that's like that, and you can give it instruction if you want to, and other stuff like that. Okay, I'm not going to give it any instruction. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and under the actions tab, and I'm going to go ahead and click on import from URL. So we're going to import something here. So what do we need to import? Now, once you have created a new action, now you can go back to GPT and then create a new GPT. Now we need to import an action. So go to this website right here, this link right here, actions.zapier.com/docs/platform/GPT, and that's going to give you going to take you to this page right here. Okay, so you can see I have this link right here. Okay, and once you're in this page, what you're going to go ahead and do, you can read the instructions on how to get started. So create a GPT, click on configuration, name the GPT, add another actions, and then finally click on import URL, and then basically copy paste this URL. So I'm going to copy this, go back in here, and then paste it in here, and then click on import. That's going to go ahead and fill this input field for me. So once that's filled, I'm going to go ahead and you can read through and see what it is. But basically, you don't need to. So once you have that, you can go ahead and click on save, and I'm going to save for me only, and I'm going to click confirm. And once that's done, I'm going to click confirm again. I know it's taking twice. Okay, so once that's done, let's go ahead and say, ask it what actions it has. So what actions do you currently have? Displays that, and that's going to ask you to allow access to Zapier, and it's going to say just go ahead and say click say allow, or you can allow always, and it's going to talk into actions.zapier.com, and it's going to list a bunch of all the actions that you have allowed. So in this case right now we have only one action, which is for action for currently I have access to an action for sending emails, and you can see that's the action that we have right here, one action for sending emails. Okay, so let's ask it to send an email. So I'm going to say great, great. Okay, so let's ask it great. Okay, let's ask it what can you explain to me? Let's ask it to explain to me how to use this action. So explain how to use this action, just like that. And you can go ahead and it's going to go ahead and give us explanation of how to use this action. Basically, also give us a simple explanation right here. This action allows you to specify details like subject, recipient. You can see it also gives you more detailed explanation of what you need to pass in for this action to work. So you can read through and basically understand what you need to do for this action to work. So now let's go ahead and ask it to write an email and send it to someone. Okay, so let's say great, great, I want to send an email to, I'm going to use coding shark 206 at gmail.com, send an email to coding@gmail.com. In the email, I want the subject. So I want the subject to be hello from GPT. Okay, that's the subject. And okay, I don't need a comma, full stop right there. And the body should read, hello, this is Zapier. Okay, Zapier is Z. Zapier automation testing with GPT. Okay, let's press that enter. So now we're going to ask you to send an email to this email address. The title of the email is going to be a hello from GPT. And then finally, we have the body right here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and allow access so that you can be able to use that Zapier action. So let's give it a bit of time, and it's going to go ahead and send an email to one of my email accounts called codingshark206@gmail.com. Okay, so it's going to ask me to confirm this because right now it's not automated because it's still in beta mode. So we have to actually manually click on this link right here to be able to confirm that email, sending of that email. Okay, so let's wait for this to go through. Okay, so once it goes through, I'm going to go ahead and click this right here. It's going to open a new page where I can click on run, and it's going to go ahead and send that action. So you can see that's what is send that email for some reason. But basically what you need to do is you need to give us an option to click send or run, and then you can go ahead and actually send that email. But this time I actually send the email somehow. So let's go ahead and actually look at my email. I'll open up my email and show if I got this email. Yeah, guys, so I just open up my email and you can see I got the email. So hello from GPT, which is the title of the image. Hello, this is a Zapier automation test with GPT. So I got the email right here. So basically all that is automated, and I'm doing all this from the GPT, right? From our chat GPT, our own version or custom variation of chat GPT. This is just really awesome, right? So basically you can actually integrate with different apps. Zapier has a ton of apps that you can use to automate different stuff. Again, this should give you an option just like click on send before it runs, but this time it just runs it automatically. I don't know why that happened, but in your case you just have to click on a button called run, and that's going to go ahead and actually send you the email. Okay, so that's basically how you can use sending emails with Zapier. And there are different Zapier tools that you can use. Twilio, you can use Twilio to send SMS messages. There are just a ton of things that you can do with Zapier. Okay, these are just the beginning parts of this kind of like agent swarms that you're really features that you're really going into in the future. So it's really awesome, and I'm really excited to see what's up more. Okay, so these are just an introduction to how to use Zapier with your own custom GPT. Okay, so now you have learned how to use Zapier. Now let's learn about retrieval augmented generation. As I mentioned earlier on, the information knowledge of the current GPT-4 ends in April 2023. Okay, if I'm not wrong, April 2023. Okay, so basically you can add your own information, other information that maybe proprietary data or private information that ChatGPT doesn't have access to, and then be able to have conversation with this information. Don't worry about the security or data privacy. The information that you put in there is not in any way being used by OpenAI to train their model, as they said in their OpenAI Dev Day conference. They do not use your personal data that you upload there. So be comfortable using it. You don't have any issues to worry about. Okay, so now let's create a new GPT right here. So I'm going to go to under Explore. Again, if you want, you can delete these GPTs if you want to. Okay, so now click on Create GPT. Again, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go into create for me a GPT that I can okay, let's say create a GPT for a book reviewer. Okay, it should it will be provided a book called, I'm going to use a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is this book right here. So this book is just a book on financial literacy and other stuff like that. If you haven't read the book, it's just an awesome book to read. I have read this book a couple of times, and it's just fantastic book to read. I also have a video on how we created our own version of RAG, which is just knowledge retrieval. So you can actually check that out if you want to build something from scratch. Okay, so you can check that out. So you have different knowledge, different lessons in this book. So you can just download the book from this page right here. I'm going to leave the link to this in the description of the video. So once you have that downloaded, so you're going to put the book is going to be called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay. Okay, so let's press enter. It's going to create for us a GPT used for book reviews, and the book is going to be called Rich Dad Poor Dad. So we can actually go into configurations, and then let's actually go ahead and do a basic setup, which is setting up the profile and other information. Go into the config, you're going to upload the book. So make sure you have this book downloaded. So just click write it, download it, and the link to this page is going to be in the description of the video. So once it goes in here, yeah, that's good. So it's gonna go ahead and generate for us a profile picture. You can see there has some starter questions, okay, conversation starters right here. Now, do you like this name? I'm going to say yeah, I like that name. So the name of the book is okay. Actually, I agreed without actually reading the name. So the what name did they give the book? The name Book Insight. Okay, that's fine. I don't mind. So now we're going to go ahead and generate the profile picture and then have the profile picture right here. So once you have the profile picture right there, we can actually go into configuration and then upload the data or the book which you wanted to be able to have a conversation with. So I'm going to say, great. Great. I like that. Thanks. Just like that. And now we are good to go. So now I'm going to go into configurations right here, configurations, and I don't know why I didn't give it a name. So I'm going to say book, call it book insight. I don't know why I didn't give it a name right there. So book insight, and I'm going to go ahead and we don't need a code interpreter. We don't need to use the web. We don't need to use DALE. Okay, we just need basically knowledge upload right here. So upload a file. So I'm going to upload a file, and I'm going to go. I have the file in my downloads, and then this file is called Rich Dad Poor Dad. So Rich Dad Poor Dad PDF book. I'm going to upload that right here. So it's going to go ahead, take some time and upload that book. It's a bit of a huge book, so it can take a bit of time to upload. So let's give it a bit of time to upload this PDF document. And basically, we can now have a conversation. Okay, that's actually fast. We're going to have a conversation with the book right here. So let's see what are the main themes in the book. Okay, how does Rich Dad Poor Dad compare? Okay, I don't want that. You can actually change these starter questions, starter conversation status right here. So actually it knows that Richard is a financial book. So let's actually ask it, let's actually save this. I want for me only, confirm this. Now I want to have a conversation with it where I'm going to ask it to explain to me the first lesson in the book. So if you read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, the first lesson is the rich don't work for money. Let money work for you, right? If you've ever read the book. So let's ask it, what is the first lesson mentioned in the book? Okay. So as the first lesson, okay, you have reached a current usage of ChatGPT. Okay, now this is the limit and challenge that you're facing right now. So right now I have reached my limit of using ChatGPT GPT-4. So I have to wait until now this limit gets over because you have done a lot of stuff. So I have reached my current limit. So I have to wait until 8:34 a.m. My current time right now it's 7:41. So that's almost an hour. That's one of the challenges that we are currently having. So if this happens to you, well, that's it for now. That's what we have to work with. So I'm just gonna pause the recording, wait until 8:34, and then I'll be back resuming. I'll be back recording, and I'll basically have that video uploaded. Okay. So yeah, see you at 8:35 or 8:36 basically. So yeah. Okay guys, so now we are back at 8:34 a.m. and exactly 8:34. Now let's try it again. So let's regenerate this, and now this should hopefully work. Okay, because we are now okay to run this. So this should now generate for us what was the first lesson mentioned in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. So you can see it's saying searching my knowledge. So basically I'm gonna search through the book and then return to us the first lesson mentioned in the book. And the first lesson is the first lesson in chapter 1 is the rich don't work for money. Basically, let money work for you. So that's really, I really love that lesson. That's one of my most favorite lessons. Okay, this had an issue. So let's go ahead and ask it all over again. So what was the first lesson mentioned in the book? Okay, I want the first lesson mentioned in the book. So now this should return to us the first lesson that was mentioned in the book. Okay, so let's give it a bit of time. I don't know why it crashed, but let's see if it works this time, hopefully. So you should now go ahead, look through the book, and then finally tell us the first lesson that was basically mentioned in the book. So a bit more of time. Let's see what it says. Okay, the first lesson mentioned in the book is about learning to make money work for you. And you can see it's just ridiculous, right? It mentioned exactly that. It says learning how to make money work for you, don't work for money, right? You can lead the lesson simplifies through an experience where the character, instead of getting paid for their work at the store, start their own comic book library business. This revenue allows them to incur blah blah, and you can see all that. Basically, the first lesson in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad is learn to make money work for you. Do not work for money, and that's the first lesson in the book, and you can see it right here. So you can see ChatGPT doesn't directly quote everything from the book because of copyright issues and fair use. So he has to now mention that in his own words, and so you can see learning to make money work for you, money work for the individual, right? So you can't quote exactly what's in the book, but it just gives you basically what that basically information basically is. So that's basically how you can use knowledge. You can add your own data, have conversation with it using a chat, basically a GPT. So now you can create a GPT, upload it there, which can be a book review GPT. People use it and you earn money, and life goes on, right? So that's really a really cool business idea anyway. Now let's move on to data analysis. We're going to create basically a GPT that's going to help us to analyze data. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go click again, explore. By now, I probably think you guys are used to this by now. Kind of boring. Explore, create GPT, same process, right? So create GPT, and now basically you're going to upload a file. So we're going to say data analyst, right? So that's basically it. Data analysis GPT. Okay, so given a CSV file, you will use this information to help the user answer. Okay, let me get this answer questions and analysis inquiries, just like that. So now that's the instruction I have for it. Now let's go ahead and upload the knowledge, and I'm going to upload the CSV file right here. So I'm going to call it tip. If I go to downloads and I'm going to search for tip right here, uh tip, okay, tip right here. I have a tip called CSV file. So what's this file that I'm using right here? So you can file this file on Kaggle, which is just a waiting tip, basically tips that are given to waiters, right? So different waiters get different tips at different times of the day, while which sex is giving out the tip, whether male or female, the smoking, whether they're smokers in the party or not, day of the week, which day of the week the tip was given, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the amount of tip, $25 and all that. So you can see this is the data I'm using, and you can go ahead and explore this data set on your own. I'm going to leave the link to this page in the description. I don't want to go ahead and waste your time. So you can just download it from here and then simply upload it right here. So now that you have it uploaded, now let's go ahead and save this. I'm going to say for me only, only me, and I'm going to click on confirm again. And now that I'm here, so let me just ask it a couple of questions. So the question I want to ask it is, what day of the week do the users give most of the tips? So what day of the week do users give most of the tips? Let me get a try. So tips. So which day of the week users give most of the tips? I want a bar graph. I want a bar graph showing. Okay, let me just say showing showing tips given on each of these particular days. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's see what you get back. So basically, you want analysis of the tips that were given on each specific date, and that should be represented in a form of a bar chart, right? So that's actually a simple data analysis. You can actually do this in Python. So in this case, going to go ahead and write code. The code is going to be written in Python, and from the code, you're going to go ahead and generate for us a plot, right? And the plot can use tools like NumPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn, and I think another one is called bokeh, anything like that. So you use those tools to basically, those libraries to basically analyze the data and plot for us the graph. Okay, so let's see what we get back here. So we should get back a graph. Okay, so now you can see the graph right there. So this is a graph right in, and you can zoom out if you want, but I'm gonna leave it at this. I hope you guys can see this clearly. So you can see most of the tip is given on Saturday right there. So that's really cool to analyze. You can even see the code that this thing uses to generate that information. So you can see the code right here. You can copy and paste the code. So it's just really ridiculous what this thing can do, right? So you can actually just build GPTs to help people to analyze their data and then get money through it that way. And it's just really awesome. Sometimes I find this really annoying and crazy, right? So now that's basically you can analyze data. I don't want to waste your time. Take your time, play around with this. I also have a token, like how much interaction I can have with this GPT. So I don't want to do more other stuff with this. So just take other people also using this as well. So let me not waste the resources. So if you want, practice this on your own time. Now let's move on to the last project, which is the final part of this project. We are going to build a data analysis tool that can also send emails. So I have this GPT already, so I'm going to go under Explore. So once I'm under Explore, I'm going to see this GPT right here, data analysis GPT. So let's click on Edit. Now we're going to add it to it another action to enable it to send emails or reports to people that we want. So again, you go to Actions right here. You're going to go ahead and add that Zapier action right here. So you have an action to send emails already. So make sure you have that action. And if you want to add other actions, you can go ahead and add other actions if you want. And then you can go ahead and copy this right here. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go back into my GPT right here, and I'm going to say import from URL and simply paste that. So this, you've already done this already. You already know how to do this, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and update this and say for me only, or only for me, and then say view GPT. So once we have this done, so let me say, let's ask it another prompt. Okay, so I want to basically say send an email to coding shark 206 at gmail.com. That's my email. Okay, in the email, explain which day of the week has the most tips and total get that total tips for let's say for each given day, okay, each given day, just like that. So yeah, that's basically it. So let's go ahead and see how it does this. So basically, we're just asking it to send an email to my email account. In the email, explain which day of the week has the most tips. Okay, actually tips and total tips for each day. So I hope it does this, doesn't screw the thing up. So let's see how it goes. So you can see now it's taking a Zapier action. Maybe it's gonna go ahead and send the email. Okay, so let's see how it goes. Gonna ask for confirmation. I'm going to allow this. It's going to go ahead and let's see how I'm interested to see what results we get back. Okay, so I attempted to send an email with the analysis day by day, but encountered an error in the process. Unfortunately, I'm unable to send this email at this moment. You might consider manually send the email. Okay, so some of the time this has an issue. It sometimes has an issue basically. So you can see generated for us email, and this is the what's supposed to send in the email, but it's having an issue as sending that email. So let's go ahead and say try again sending the email with the information you have generated above as the body of the email. The email should be sent to coding shark 206 at gmail.com. Okay, so let's try this one more time. Sometimes you get these issues, right? This is a AI systems, and sometimes they can have these issues, especially right now. This is in beta state, so it has these minor issues, but sometimes it works perfectly. Sometimes it just has this issue. You have to just try it a couple of times, more prompts, and then finally get it working. So let's go ahead and allow this, and hopefully this works this time around. Okay, so hopefully this works. Okay, let's see how it works again to send the email, but it's having an issue. So it's having an issue sending the email. So what you can do is, let me try to do this. Let's go to this right here. Let me go ahead and say, okay, let me go to this right here, and I'm going to click on edit this. And what I want to do is instead, I want to go under explore. Let me try to delete this. Maybe this is the cause of the issue. Sometimes it just behaves weird. So let's delete this and see if that should work. Okay, so let me go back in here. Click on this cover here, data analyst. Okay, so let's try this prompt one more time again, and hopefully this one, if it works, fine. If it doesn't, then sometimes there's nothing you really can do. Okay, so send an email to coding shark 206 at gmail.com. Gmail.com. In the email, I want you to explain I want you to explain which day of the week has the most tips. Each day of the week has the most tips and total tips uh, given each day. Okay, so let's give it each of each day. So let's say that, and let me just run this one more time. Hopefully this time it works. Okay, if it doesn't work, then we just have to I just have to go ahead and actually try this out on your own, and hopefully it works on your end, right? So if it doesn't work this time around, you can try one more time, and then I would have to end the video right there. But trust me, it works. Sometimes it's just some challenges that it's actually having, but sometimes it works perfectly. And let's hope that this is one of the times it worked perfectly, because I sent myself an email. I will show an email that I sent earlier on, and this worked perfectly. It generated the analysis and sent me an email report of that data. Okay, so if this doesn't work, then I'll show you the email that uh, I got earlier on when I was testing this before recording the video. Okay, so let's see how this goes about. It's going to ask my permission, and I'm going to allow it to send the email. And let's see. Hopefully this works. Okay, I actually got the email wrong right here. So let me just say decline this. I actually got the email wrong. So I'm going to simply edit this again. So this is the 206, okay, not 205, 206. Coding Shark 206 at gmail.com. So I'm going to go ahead and say try this one more time. Okay. Okay, maybe I got the email wrong. That's why it was failing. I don't know. So let's see again. Coding Shark 206 at gmail.com. That's my email. That's why I wanted to send the email, and that email should be sent over here to this guy. So if I go over here, you see Coding Shark 206 at gmail.com. That's why I want the email sent, and this is the first email that you received. So now let me just make this full screen. Go back in here, and let's see if this works this time around. This you can see taking action to Zapier. So it identified that it needs to send an email, and we have an email action with Zapier. So it's trying to use that to send an email, right? It's going to use this action, which is called send email, to send an email. So that's what it's trying to do right now, right here. So just say allow that to take the action because it's still in beta. So you have to give it a permission manually, and hopefully it sends the email. Okay, it fails again. So it encountered an issue with sending messages. So sometimes this happens, sometimes it works just fine. So you can see this is an analysis. It writes for us an email that you can send manually, but basically I'm not interested in this. Let me just go ahead and show you the email that is sent earlier on. So you guys try this out and let me know in the comment section if this works for you. Okay, so let me show you an email that I got earlier on. So this is the email that I got earlier on from the bot. I can see the email right here containing the details of each of this information. So sorry for if you're hearing any noise. It's just raining outside, so sorry for that. Basically, this is the email that I got when I tested this out previously. I sent it to another email that I have. Okay, so it was working perfectly fine. But this time it's just getting an issue sending the email. Try it out and let me know what you guys, if it works for you. If it doesn't, you can create another video on this and deal with this specifically. So that's basically the final project of this. So things that you can try out yourself. You can create a Spotify GPT that helps you play Spotify music. So yesterday I created a Spotify GPT and I just tell it, hey, I'm feeling sad. Can you play for me a sad music? And it plays that. Hey, I'm feeling happy. Can you play for me a happy music? And it plays that. So you can also create a GPT to work with Twilio to send SMS messages. You can also go ahead and create a GPT to track your different Google calendars and your to-do and stuff like that. So that's it for this video, and that's this for this crash course. And if you want to connect with me, you can find me on Medium at Prince Crumper. You can find me on YouTube at Code Prince. Twitter or X, you can find me at Prince_Crumper. On LinkedIn, you can find me at Prince Crumper. Okay, so guys, thank you guys for watching so much, and I hope this video has helped you and has opened new doors into the world of GPTs and GPT stores and how to make a ton of money from this. Okay, so this is a great opportunity. Don't let it pass over you. Practice, practice, practice. Great GPTs, and let's see what the world holds for us. So thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one, and keep safe.